Apparently, according to Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, now is the time. Now is the time to seize the moment because, quite frankly, according to them, as ever we have to say allegedly, the royal family are simply falling apart. However, where are we today? Morning, Neil Sean here at the very heart of a beautiful venue. Let me tell you, this is the Hotel Metropole in the heart of Brighton. And think about this, in 1890, July 1890, it opened at the astronomical cost to build of £57,000. I mean, there's a lot of money then, there's a lot of money now, isn't it? Can you imagine? I don't think you could get a front door, would you, for £57,000? Now, what happened on the opening day, they brought down 2,000 people on a series of trains all the way from London, a spectacular opening. And a lot of people actually, and this is about the influencer world we live in, isn't it? A lot of people were told that the then Prince of Wales, Edward, was going to be actually at this official event. Well, sadly, he wasn't. He had no intention of being here. And, he had other interests. In fact, the Grand Hotel was more of his interest down the road. But it's interesting to see, isn't it, when you think just how people manipulate a story, even back then, to make sure, of course, that you really got the publicity that you needed. It's a little bit like Harry and Meghan and their latest escapade. Let me explain. Good to see you today, and as ever, thank you so much for joining me. Yes, well, it's the dearest we're going to get, isn't it, into staying in this beautiful hotel. I have to say, though, it's very nice. You can see a lot of history around here. And when you look it up and you think, wow, what a wonderful place. So many kings and queens and consorts and all sorts of stuff, including the infamous Lily Langtry, the one-time paramour of the Prince of Wales, stayed here, but apparently she'd fallen away from his gaze at this point. Love that phrase, don't you? Otherwise known as dumped. It's a little bit like, of course, the royal family that have dumped Harry and Meghan. But as we saw recently, what's interesting about Harry and Meghan, they're not letting go. Now, when you think about this, we've got an ongoing, very serious situation with His Majesty the King and his recent having to take time away from a forthcoming tour to New Zealand and then Fiji and a scale-back tour of Australia. Not only that, though, then you've also got to think that, as we had that terrible news about the Princess Royal, or Royal Highness Princess Anne, a little bit of an accident out at her place at Gatcombe Park, and, the situation behind that, and the ongoing recuperation of our delightful Catherine, the Princess of Wales. Well, guess what? Harry and Meghan, and more importantly, their team, see this as a seize the moment opportunity. You see, they believe that now is the time to get out there and show the royal family truly what they're missing. After their glittering success of Nigeria, yes, I kid you not, they basically believe that, well, what could be a good thing now would be, if you're not wanted by the British monarchy, to undertake another one of your own royal tours. You understand how this works. Now, Harry himself is slightly embarrassed, but there's another thing about this, and this is important. It's a money-making. And, they can make money, they can go to places. As we saw with Nigeria, their government were willing to pay for security, hotel, accommodation, everything in order to receive them. Yes, the one thing they haven't received, though, is the full confirmation from Meghan about her 43% being Nigerian. But, that's by the by. But as we're speaking right now, seriously, the situation is that Harry and Meghan are looking at, shall we say, capitalising, some might suggest, on a gap in the market for real royals being out and about and on the ground. And Harry and Meghan themselves very much see themselves as the royals that have been wronged, and they could put it right. What do you think? Neil Sean in the Hotel Metropole in the very heart of Brighton.